How long does the Amazfit Balance 3 actually last in everyday use? That is exactly what I wanted to find out in my battery test. I tested the watch under two different usage scenarios. During the first test, the always on display was enabled and the brightness was set to maximum. Afterwards, I disabled the always on display and switched to automatic brightness. During both tests, all health features remained enabled, sleep mode was scheduled from 10 to 6 a.m. and I completed a 1-hour GPS workout using the highest available GPS accuracy. These are fairly demanding conditions, but they also make the results much easier to compare. The test began at 3 p.m. with a fully charged battery. Right at the start, I completed a 1-hour GPS workout. During the workout, the display remained permanently active and the highest GPS accuracy settings was enabled. After exactly 1 hour, the battery level had dropped from 100 to 97%. The workout therefore consumed only 3 percentage points. Theoretically, that would correspond to roughly 33 hours of continuous GPS tracking. Of course, this is only a rough estimate, but it really shows how efficient the Amazfit Balance 3 is when it comes to GPS battery consumption. After the workout, I continued using the watch normally. The always on display remained enabled and the brightness stayed at its maximum level. At 11 p.m. shortly before going to bed, the battery level was still at 94%. By that point, the watch had consumed a total of 6 percentage points. Sleep mode had already been active since 10 p.m., although I actually went to bed at around 11 p.m. When I woke up again at 5:45, the watch still had 92% remaining. During an actual sleep period of approximately 6 hours and 45 minutes, the battery therefore dropped by only 2 percentage points. After waking up, I continued using the watch with the same settings. Exactly 24 hours after the test began, the battery level had dropped to 88%. Over an entire day, the Amazfit Balance 3 therefore consumed only 12 percentage points. Based on this result, the estimated battery life is approximately 200 hours or around 8.3 days. And that is with the always on display enabled, maximum brightness, 1 hour of GPS tracking using the highest accuracy setting, and sleep tracking active. Immediately afterwards, I continued to test with the always on display disabled. The watch was not recharged in between, so the second scenario started with the remaining 88% battery. During normal everyday use, the always on display stayed disabled while automatic brightness remained enabled. At 12:20 a.m., shortly before going to bed, battery level was still at 86%. During the first 9 hours and 20 minutes, the watch therefore consumed only 2 percentage points. Sleep mode was once again scheduled from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. My actual sleep lasted from around 12:20 until 7:53 a.m. After waking up, the watch still showed 84% remaining, meaning it lost only another 2 percentage points overnight. At 1:54 p.m., immediately before the second GPS workout, the battery level was at 83%. For this workout, I enabled the display again and once more selected the highest GPS accuracy setting. After exactly 1 hour, the Amazfit Balance 3 showed 81% remaining. This second GPS workout therefore consumed only 2 percentage points. Across both workouts, the average GPS battery consumption was approximately 2.5% per hour. At the end of the second 24-hour period, the battery had dropped from 88 to 81%. Overall, the watch consumed only 7 percentage points. That results in a theoretically battery life of approximately 343 hours or around 14.3 days. Naturally, this is an estimate value, but it clearly demonstrates the significant impact of disabling the always on display. Difference between both scenarios is quite noticeable. With the always on display enabled and maximum brightness, the watch consumed 12% over 24 hours. Without the always on display and with automatic brightness enabled, the daily consumption dropped to just 7%. That represents a reduction in daily battery usage of approximately 42%. Interestingly, the GPS battery consumption remained almost identical. The two workouts require only 2 and 3% respectively, meaning the biggest difference came from normal everyday use rather than GPS tracking. If you want to maximize the battery life of the Amazfit Balance 3, disabling the always on display has by far the biggest impact. Now, I also tested the charging speed. The first charging session began at 60%. After 10 minutes, the battery had already reached 76%, and after a total of 18 minutes, it climbed to 87%. To complete the charging curve, I combined these results with a second charging session that started at 80%. After 10 minutes, the watch had reached 90, after 20 minutes, it was at 95, and after 30, it was 98, and after a total of 37 minutes, it was fully charged at 100%. The charging curve is exactly what you would expect from a modern smartwatch. Charging is particularly fast up to around 90% before slowing down noticeably during the final few percent in order to protect the battery. Based on both charging sessions, I estimate that charging from 0 to 50% would take around 20 to 25 minutes, while a full charge from 0 to 100% should take around 55 to 60 minutes. That makes the Amazfit Balance 3 one of the faster charging smartwatches currently available. Overall, the Amazfit Balance 3 delivers an excellent battery performance. Even with the always-on display enabled Max.Brightness, 1-hour GPS tracking at the highest accuracy settings, and sleep tracking active, my test result in an estimated battery life of more than 8 days. Disabling the always-on display increases the estimated runtime to well over 2 weeks. At the same time, GPS tracking remains highly efficient and a full charge takes less than an hour. If long battery life is one of your priorities, the Amazfit Balance 3 is definitely one of the strongest smartwatches in its category.